don't hear it coming. But when it hits, it's already too late. This is the sound of your mind breaking.
Most people think a breakdown comes all at once, like a crash, but it doesn't. It starts quietly, a weird feeling in your stomach, a thought that won't leave, a moment where something feels off. It's not a scream, it's a whisper, but we ignore it. We scroll, we distract ourselves. We say, "I'm just tired. I'll deal with it later." Then, one day, the whisper becomes a shout. And by then, it's too loud to run from. This chapter is about that first sound. The knock before the panic. The tiny crack before the storm. Because the only way to stop a thought from breaking you is to hear it before it screams. We have all had it. A moment where we explode, inside or outside, and we say, "I don't know what happened." But the truth is, it didn't start there. It started days ago. Maybe weeks. Your body knew. Your breath changed. Your sleep got lighter. Your mind became louder. But you didn't notice. Because no one teaches us how to listen to the quiet. We live in a loud world. Noise is normal. Thoughts never stop. And the quiet ones, the soft, strange, early signs, they disappear in the crowd. But those early thoughts, they are the warning signs. They're not crazy. They're not weakness. They are the brain's first signal, not to attack you, but to protect you. You see, most of your breakdowns don't come from one big event. They come from the buildup. One missed call, one cold look, one regret replayed 100 times. Your mind stacks them like boxes in a hallway until there's no room left to walk. And then you trip. The scream you hear later is just the sound of everything falling. But what if you noticed the first box? Here's something no one tells you. Not every thought is true, but every thought feels true. That's the problem. You get a thought like, "I'm not enough. I always ruin things. No one really sees me." And instead of questioning it, you believe it. You wear it. You let it sit beside you like an old friend. But where did that thought come from? It's not new. It didn't show up this morning. It's a memory. It's a fear. It's a line your brain wrote years ago. And it's been reading it ever since. Your brain is not trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. But it doesn't know how to heal. So it repeats. It tells you to expect rejection, so you don't feel surprised. It tells you to expect failure, so you don't feel broken. But here's the twist. That protection becomes the pain. You stop taking chances. You stop opening up. You stop dreaming. And the thought keeps whispering, "See, I was right." That thought is not truth. It's a story. And you've heard it so many times, you forgot you didn't write it. Narration. The scary part of mental pain isn't the volume, it's the timing. Because the loud thoughts, the ones that hurt, they don't start loud. They build, like water dripping in a sink. You ignore it at first, then one day, it overflows. The trick is to catch it while it's still a drop. How? Start small. Learn to ask, what am I feeling, before I think? Because feelings are faster than thoughts. You feel tightness before you feel anger. You feel heaviness before you feel sad. You feel numb before you know you're lost. And if you ask early, you get answers your brain usually hides. Like, I don't feel safe. I feel invisible. I feel tired, not in my body, but in my soul. This is how we hear the scream before it happens. We slow down. We notice the small signs, the tension in the shoulders, the breath that skips, the fake laugh, the eye twitch, the I'm fine that doesn't feel fine. This is not weakness. This is learning to listen. Because if you don't hear the soft pain, it will turn into loud pain. And then it will become your voice. Here's the truth most people miss. You don't have to fix every thought. You just have to hear it. If you hear it early, you can catch it. You can say, "Oh, that's the voice again." You can step back. You can breathe. That moment where you notice the thought, that's power. That's the moment the loop breaks. Not with a scream, but with a whisper. You don't need a solution. You need space. That's why people say meditation helps. Not because it makes thoughts go away, but because it teaches you to hear them clearly. That's why writing helps. Not because it solves anything, but because it shows you what's inside. That's why silence helps. Because when the world is quiet, you can finally hear what your mind is trying to say. Not every thought is a monster. Some are just scared. Some are confused. Some are just old. You're not broken for hearing them. You're human. But if you never stop to listen, they'll scream louder and louder until you believe they're the only voice that matters. They're not, because now you know how to hear them before they scream. Your thoughts are not the enemy. They're just signals. They're just echoes. You don't need to fight them. You just need to notice them before they grow sharp, before they dig deep, before they control the story. You are not your thoughts. You are the listener. You are the space before the scream. And now, you can finally hear it.